Amy Klobuchar gets under my skin. I did a poll the other day. I said, who's the most insufferable Democratic candidate? I forget everybody I listed. Oh, we had Amy Klobuchar, Mayor Pete, Kamala, and I'm blanking on the last one. Who was that last one that I threw in there? I don't remember. Delaney. It was Delaney. So anyway, Mayor Pete won in a landslide. Mayor Pete is the most insufferable to the thousands of people who did that poll. Now you could say, hey man, that's your audience, so it's skewed. Totally true. But I'm talking to my audience, so obviously you guys will relate to what I'm saying. But in my mind, it's a close one. I think Mayor Pete is the most annoying one, but Amy Klobuchar is making a run at it. She's making a run at it. And you're about to see why I hold her in such low regard and why I think she's so unbearable. This is her closing statement. I mean, it is just relentlessly uninspiring.
The nation was riveted this week by the testimony in Washington. And one of the people we heard from yesterday was Lieutenant Colonel Vindman. And what he said was this. He spoke to his immigrant father, and he said, in this country, you can tell the truth, and it's going to be fine. It reminded me of Army Counsel years and years ago in the McCarthy hearing, someone from Iowa, actually, Mr. Welch, who said, have you no sense of decency, sir? I want us to remember that this election is, yes, an economic check on this president. And I have bold ideas that we can do to go forward as a country to make college more affordable and bring down the cost of health care, yes. But this is also a patriotism check, a value check, a decency check. And when you look at the people that turned out in Kentucky and turned out in Virginia, people turned out that didn't vote in 2016. African Americans are turning out like we didn't see before. But we also, and they must be with us, and we must get our fired up Democratic base with us. But we also, let's get those independents and moderate Republicans who cannot stomach this guy anymore. This is how we build a coalition. So we don't just beat Donald Trump. We bring the U.S. Senate to some sense. We send Mitch McConnell packing. This is how we win. So if you want to join us, and remember that this won't be for me a personal victory, it'll be a national victory of someone that wins in red districts and suburban purple districts and bright blue districts every single time. If you want to join us and if you believe that our work doesn't end on Election Day but begins on Inauguration Day, join us. AmyKlobuchar.com.
Senator.
She always does the thing at the end of her boring speech where she makes the face like she thinks she nailed it. And I think that she thinks she nailed it. You didn't nail it. You're not even close. It's so out of step with the times. It's unbelievable. Okay, let's go through it. She starts by saying the nation was riveted by testimony in Washington this week. No, you and everybody in your circle was riveted by testimony in Washington this week. Guys, I'm not kidding. Everybody I've talked to about impeachment says the same thing. Man, it's a lot's going on. I haven't been able to follow it all. It's really complex and convoluted. And I kind of tapped out. Everybody's saying that I talked to. And I'm talking people on the right, people who agree with me, people who don't agree with me. Like, I've talked to a bunch of people about this, and they all say the same thing. They're all like, I'm not really following it. Not really following it. I got into a back and forth on Twitter the other day with somebody over this, and they're really annoying. Like, when I make the point that Ukraine-gate suffers from the same democratic problem as Russiagate, which is it's overly complex and convoluted, and like every conversation on it is like, did you hear what Ambassador Fliggins-Florp said about Undersecretary Garbanzo when his friend heard the call? It's like, people, you lost them like the second you started talking. they haven't been this isn't a soap opera. Like, everybody thinks, oh, I'm following every word of it. No, only you are. You might be. Regular people, there's a single mother trying to pay her freaking light bill, and you're like, oh, Undersecretary Garbanzo. So anyway, when she said, like, immediately she shows how out of touch she is with average people who work regular jobs. Riveted by the testimony in Washington. Then she says, what we know in this country is if you tell the truth, you're going to be fine. Jimmy Dore tweeted, yes, tell that to Chelsea Manning. Tell that to Chelsea Manning. Tell that to Julian Assange. Tell that to Edward Snowden. Literally all they did was tell the truth, and they're absolute pariahs in establishment circles. So, and Amy Klobuchar has never spoken a word in defense of these people. And she wouldn't. She doesn't defend them. She doesn't believe in them, even though they told the truth. So, just cynical nonsense. This is platitude cliche city for her. Tell the truth and you'll be fine. Oh, the testimony when this person said this. Oh, yes. And then she literally says, I got multiple messages from people. A bunch of different people reached out to me and said, dog, she did your parody. Like the uptight parody of people that you do. She did that. She literally said, I'm reminded when they said, have you no decency, sir? Oh, yeah. Civility. You're a living parody. You're the joke person that I make fun of. You became that. You're the embodiment of that stereotype. What is wrong with you? Who's this landing with? Who's sitting at home going, yes, have you no decency, sir? Nobody's doing that. And then she says it twice. Have you no decency, sir? Then she goes, this election is about a patriotism check, a value check, a decency check. By the way, very noteworthy that she's talking, decency and all this. She repeatedly goes after Medicare for all. She repeatedly goes after free college. So she's scolding people, we need a decency check. We have 30 to 45,000 deaths from lack of health care, and your plan wouldn't fix that. Your plan wouldn't fix the 500,000 medical bankruptcies. Your plan wouldn't fix the over $1 trillion in student loan debt. You mock the idea of debt, abolishing debt. So, decency check. Yeah, okay, let's do a decency check. You fail. I just checked. You fail. Because your plans are terrible. They're nonsense, status quo defending half measures that inspire nobody. And then the final point is, she says, we need somebody who can get independence. Not just win the blue districts, but get independence and get the moderate Republicans. This is her whole claim to fame is this. Is like, let's be serious. I'm the one who can win in these really important states. So like, that's why you got to pick me. It's almost like a threat. Like, pick me or else. If you don't pick me, you're going to be in trouble. Really uninspiring, but it's also not true. Guys, they polled this. They just polled it recently. Now, to be fair, yes, there's only, a little over 200 people were in the poll, so you could say that's not a representative sample size. You need to poll more than that. I totally agree with you. But the evidence that we have to this point is clear. The people who do the best at getting those crossover voters, at chipping away and stealing Republican voters. Tulsi Gabbard, Bernie Sanders, Andrew Yang. Those are the three. You could not like that. You could disagree with that, but that is what the facts are at this point. Yes, we need more evidence, but right now that's what the facts say. So even using your own standard, Amy Klobuchar, you should be supporting one of those three. We need to not just get the blue states, get independents, moderates, and moderate Republicans. Okay, well, Bernie has the upside of not only getting those people, which he does, but also holding the base. Unlike you, who tell the base they need to piss off every single day. There's no reason, again, even by her own standard, she's an abysmal failure, and she doesn't do the thing that she pretends like she does. She doesn't get these people. Listen, the establishment media will keep trying to force Buttigieg on you, and the establishment media will keep trying to force Klobuchar on you. The reason why they're doing that is because they see Biden struggling, and he's probably not going to be able to hang in there. So with Biden struggling, he's the establishment candidate. The other two that they think have a shot are Klobuchar and Buttigieg. But they don't. So that's why we're here, to call them out and tell you the dynamic that's going on and to warn you. to warn you. She deserves nobody's support because she's not going to fix a damn thing.